Oh yeah. Let's get to Pervy Sage.
Yeah,
So David Cho show. He's on the new show, series Beef. That's critically acclaimed.
yeah.
It's
I
doing
heard it was really
numbers.
good.
It's looking good. The merch is looking good on A24 site as what I like as always. Yeah. So that's enough praise for that. Yeah, Mr. Cho was on a pod a few years back talking about
Yeah.
sexually assaulting a black woman, uh, and how the act made his dick hard, and not the act of sexually assaulting her, because of course his dick was hard for that, but the act of talking about it is making is making his dick hard.
Like
So
he recanted and was or he reminisced.
exactly. And the gallery of Asian men were inquiring of said woman's beauty and her breast size, and it's just like, oh yeah, y'all was on one. Shout out to the Asian lady in the room who was telling everybody like, hey, y'all know he just like admitted to being a rapist, right?
Yeah,
To which he
yeah.
said, a successful one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It seems like we're missing each other somewhere. I don't know what to make of it. He said, so it happened a few years back, and then it was brought up a few years ago. Um,
Yeah.
it was brought up a few years ago, and to which he said, "I was just joking." Which
Yeah.
pre Cosby, I guess you could say you could pull a Donald Trump locker room talk, but nah, nah. Go ahead and
Yeah,
come
man.
forth, woman, whoever he's talking about. Go ahead, come forth. Go ahead, get him locked up because we got him. We got him in. We didn't have 4K then, but we got him in 1080 for sure.
I I thought it was interesting that I'd be saying all the time, like, man, I can't have shit. Like we can't have shit without it being attached. And yeah, maybe it would be easier if I just was ignorant to shit, like most people are. But like, man, nothing is sacred. I actually heard the clip and yeah, that didn't sound like a joke. Like, I mean, and even if it was a joke, like, I don't know how old the gentleman is. I don't even know what he looks like. But, like, you're talking, it was 2014, 2015, not even 10 years ago. Like, he thought it was, like, okay to say stuff like that. Like, I understand, like, shock value, but, like, I don't know. Maybe the rules was different. But,
The
like,
rules.
I don't know when
Go
that would
ahead.
have made it, like, funny. I don't know if that would have made it funny to me. But I guess I'm a different nigga. I don't know.
It's literally something that you hear kids joking about, and you tell them that's not funny.
Yeah.
Like it's juvenile to where it's like, yeah, no. Even back then, that was still around the time where uh there was a lot of things shifting at the time, because that's when um you could use rape as a term to describe it. You're describing somebody taking advantage, but what you're describing is like, oh, a team basically raped another team when they blew them
Or
out on the
like or
scoreboard.
like sneaker reselling.
Bingo. So it was a term, we use synonymously with
Oh, you
being
got hit over
taken
the head.
advantage of. Yeah, which is crazy. like once you break it down and now we have to use other words for this because we realize this isn't funny and these things shouldn't be synonymous. And the other words that we come up with is taking advantage of, hit over the head. Like, it's just like, y'all, this isn't a thing that we ever should have been accustomed to. We ever should have been doing. Um, but at the same time, I think David Cho is like late 40s, early 50s. So we're 10 years removed. You're late 30s, early 40s. You know that's not okay. Like there's no even, I was just a kid. Nah, bro. We not and of course, there's a deeper level to it because I, this is where my mind goes. I just remember when the Stop Asian Hate shit was going on, and black people just was like, fuck, we stop. How they get a bill? And of course, there was more to it, but on its face, it's one of those things where it's like, that's what you guys pushed the bill as. There was more in the bill. That's what you pushed the bill as. So it's just like, there's never been a stop black hate bill. There's never been a campaign to be like, hey, what's going on between black people and Asian people? Or there's never been a campaign of like, hey, we need to address, the schism between these two. The whole stop Asian hate shit was like, oh, black people are doing this to us. Black people are doing this to us. And this is like, the fuck is going on? We have this thing now to where we got y'all on video from 10 years ago talking about raping a black woman. And it's just like, that's where my mind is like, I'm rattling this shit around my head because I was one of the ones that was like, man, hey, we need to stop Asian hate. We have to look after them because we would need somebody to look after us. It's the right thing to do. We have to look after them. We have to, be in their corner because it's just the right thing to do. But now it's looking like, well, why am and the thing is, I'm still gonna check my people when stuff like this comes up. But why is it that I'm in a room, if something crazy comes up, and it's never been to this level, but even just if to the level of like funny accents and whatever, like I'm checking my people. I'm, holding myself to account when I be having these moments, and y'all are out here just casually discussing raping a black woman. It's just like, nah, this doesn't make any sense because we're not all doing our fair part. And your fair part doesn't start in front of people. If you're not willing to even, defend who should be your ally, you're not even willing to defend black people in a public platform like a podcast. What are y'all doing behind closed doors? What are y'all saying about us? Like, what's really good? And it's just like, nah, this is where, like, beyond him being a sicko, the race relations of it all is just like, who can we trust? Who can we trust? Like, what is going on?
To the point where, like, I almost feel like if it had happened to anyone else, does he even get a Netflix show? Like,
bingo. This isn't a thing where a black person is gonna just casually admit to raping somebody and they just pop up later on with a Hulu. He has a Hulu show. I was a fan of the Hulu show.
so
I didn't realize. He's on the Netflix show. He has a Hulu. He has his own show. That's kind of like this. Think of like Bob Ross, the painting, because he's a painter. So he has his like painting show, but it's like Bob Ross meets Andrew Bourdain, where he's spitting these philosophies on life and everything while he's painting and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, it's a really nice show, but you are an admitted rapist. I'm not. Am I wrong for holding you to your own words, even though you've come back out and recanted them? Of course you would recant them. You admitted to raping somebody. You're supposed to come back out and be like, "Oh no, I was just playing, y'all." Like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works, and it's tough to give you that pass when you were so cavalier about it, and your cast members on the pod, not your cast members, but your fellow, podcasters who are on that show with you, they didn't really hold you accountable, except for our friend, the woman who was just like, you guys are really weird. Like,
you know who the woman was?
oh, nah. It was Aquafina?
No. It was.
Oh, I was like, oh.
It was another famous Asian, Asa Akira.
Our beloved
Shout
sister.
out to Asa Akira.
Hey, thank you.
For your service.
we appreciate you.
More wins than
hey, she's holding it down on all fronts. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her, an ally.
Oh man!
I just looked him up because I was like, I didn't know who the guy was, and I think I've seen his face before, but then I look up like his filmography and shit that he's on, and I
I,
saw the podcast, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen that name before."
I swear to God, bro, if BD Wong from Doctor Strange, if he pop up with some
Yeah,
shit, bro, I'm throwing everything, bro. Like I
we
can't take it. I can't
yeah
take it.
we end the podcast how we started. We started it the same way. Like, what else do we have left? It's just
uh
going crazy.
yeah, man, that's the thing. Guys, if you haven't learned yet, we're gonna try to be honest with you all about these situations. There's no need to joke about any of these things. There's no need
Yeah,
to disrespect the women. Before we give you the advice to stay away from a certain kind of woman, we're just gonna tell you to just respect all of them. First
yeah.
and foremost, don't commit any crimes against them. Definitely
Yeah.
don't go bragging about said crimes.